So I'm making this video just to help people, basically. I hear a wee bit too much negativity on how folk can't make it, and I just think that they just lack a wee bit of guidance and a plan, basically. So I'm going to run through this worked example just on how to basically budget and how I do it, and how folk can get ahead, or how folk can try to get ahead of where they are currently. So I'll take you through it line by line. If you want a copy of this, more than happy to send you it. Just comment, and I'll send you it, no problem. It's not the most sophisticated spreadsheet of all time, but it does the job, and it served me well. So I'll take you through it. So first is the take-home pay for each person. So this is a couple with no kids, maybe just moved out, got the first mortgage, maybe paying rent somewhere. That's kind of the situation that they're in, both with good jobs, one on 25k a year, one on 35k a year. I've just got a wee example of the salaries here. So obviously one taking home 2293 and one taking home 1732. So that's where they're both at the moment, and that's what they're bringing in to the house each month. So from that, they get paid that into their separate accounts, and they take off their personal stuff. So the phone, the car, I'm saying they've got a SIM-only phone. With a car, they've either got one paid off and they are saving up, or they've got a car loan that they're paying off £200 a month, which is about 10k's worth. So you could go higher than that, you could go lower than that, but that's roughly where they're at in this example. Car insurance, it can vary, obviously, depending on your license, but I've took it at 65 quid a month. Some people say I'm only paying 30 quid a month, some people say I'm paying 150. Entirely depends on your situation. So car tax, again, just a wee allowance in there. It could be nothing, it could be 190 quid a year. So person A likes to play the Xbox and has to have the Xbox Live with Game Pass, so they pay a tenner a month for that, and both of them are members at a gym, just a recreational gym, no posh bits at the moment. One of them likes golf but can't afford a golf membership, so they've not got one at the moment. Separate spends, they've both got an allowance of 150 quid just to spend on random stuff that occurs during the month. A week contingency, which is basically just a random figure, which we'll get to in a second. One of them likes to get their hair done, say once every 3 months, to get dyed or whatever they do. Obviously this isn't gender specific, but you can make your own mind up on who's who. And then clothes, one slightly spends more than the other. Again, nothing to do with gender there. So so that means your totals after your personal is 1200 left for one of them and 1720 left for the other. So that amount for each person then gets deposited into the joint account. So obviously one person is paying slightly more than the other. I think that's the way to go with finances, to be honest, unless you're both on the same page. I can't see it working, and obviously that means that the person with the highest salary pays more into the pot, and it's up to this person, person A, whoever it is, whether it's a wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, to make up for that, if you like, in other realms of the relationship, so they don't feel like they're being carried and the other person doesn't feel like they're being carried. There is other ways to do it. This is how we're set up at the moment. Some people don't even have a personal bills or separate accounts. It's just because that's how we kind of came in the relationship. That's how it's remained. So some people just get deposited straight in a joint account. So that's how I'm guessing that most people will do it at the moment in the UK. So that's what I've went with. In terms of mortgage, so this is when you get onto your joint bills, obviously. So your mortgage and rent, you're in a starter home, terraced house, 2-bed, and you've got 120k house value. You've got 12 grand equity in that, so 180 grand worth of debt, and you've got that over a 35-year term. So you're paying off 562 a month at the moment. Council tax, again, going back to that also. Of course, some people will be in a detached new build house, some people will be renting a flat, some people will be renting a HMO somewhere. Everyone's in different circumstances. I'm taking it purely based on an average and purely based on this example here. So same with council tax and utilities. Some people pay more, some people pay less, but that's roughly where it is in kind of my area in Scotland. So Sky Broadband and TV, all this is pretty self-explanatory. You've not got the fancy Sky Sports package, you've just got broadband with the Sky box basically. I've put 2 of these in, so Gardner and Car Valley. Obviously they're not putting anything towards this at the moment, but it's 2 examples of jobs that people don't like doing. So what I'm saying is you've got an option to outsource them kinds of things. Neither of them might like ironing, so that's something that they maybe outsource as well, choose to spend some money on, but at the moment these guys aren't doing it because they're just getting started. So some pet grooming, I've took allowance for pet grooming. Obviously these have got no kids, but obviously if you had children, your childcare would go up, you would food, clothes, etc. So that's saying that your fixed expenses, which is basically those items here, are 1,400 quid. So I'm saying you should have about a 5 grand emergency fund, which is about 3 months worth of that. So I'll take care of that in the next section. So in terms of investments, so I think a lot of people aren't investing or saving anything at the moment. I'm telling you that these guys are managing to save £603, which is 15% of their income. So it's possible on this budget, on a 25 grand and 35 grand salary, it is possible. So that's that taken accounted for there. Holidays, they spend 2.5 grand or 2,400 a year on holidays. They've got Christmas savings. Obviously if you've got children that'll need to be higher. If you're more generous that'll need to be higher, but 240 quid in December, it helps out to be just sitting there. Similar with your car maintenance, so obviously it's going to need MOT'd every year, it's going to need a few tyres, so that 40 quid, which accounts to 480 quid a year, it's not going to take care of everything, but it just gives you a wee bit of help when those kind of bills do come up. So then there's your savings and emergency fund, so this is hopefully not going to get touched, and it's going to build up over the course of months, years, so that you have a good kitty there just to fall back on if you ever do need it. Moving on, so charity, so I think you should have something built in for charity, so this level can depend on how much you want to do. It could be 0 if you wanted it to be. I've just got a tenner in just to show that you are doing something, and it might be that you don't spend that, it might be that you save that up all year and spend it on one cause at Christmas. Entirely up to yourself. Home maintenance, so something will go wrong with your home, the heating will stop working, you'll need a gas engineer, you'll need somebody to come and help you out, so that will just help out if that does occur. And then obviously your phone upgrades, this is just for, obviously you're on SIM-only contracts at the moment, so this is just to recognise the fact that you will have to upgrade your phone at some point. You'll have to do that at some point, and that 30 quid a month over the course of say 3 or 4 years is more than enough to buy another kind of second-hand iPhone and have a really good phone to have. And then this is your variable costs, so obviously not everything's fixed, so this kind of recognises the fact that your variable costs will change throughout the month, and I personally do this on a credit card just to build up points, but obviously if you're not good with credit, I would recommend just doing it through your joint account on your debits. So that's where it is, and that shows you that is saving up or investing £603 a month. It's possible for the average person. You just need to pick and choose what you spend your money on. So just going back to it, so holidays, that would be too low for me. I would want something more than that, so I'll have options. So what I do is I either get my money up, so one of these people has to pay more money into the joint, so they have to up the wage, working more hours, getting promotions, doing something about it. Gym, maybe that would have to get scrubbed if you were really desperate for your holidays. Maybe person A would have to give up their Xbox. Maybe you just have to have a £7,000 car instead and reduce them down to £150. There's options there, and that's it. That's what it's all about: picking your priorities, picking what you want to do, and living life how you want to, basically. So hope that helped. Any questions, please do reach out to us. Okay, cheers.